and see them yourselves. There comes Herman. Herman, you're welcome.
Morning, everyone. When I saw the beauty outside, the beauty of nature, the beautiful arcade as you drove in, and the beautiful petals on the floor, and I'm sure everybody's just saw how beautiful the day actually is. But part of that is some of the things which my father's, what is it that I can impart here? Because we've all lost something. Lost someone, and but what is it that I can add of value to any of you? And it's some of the things which my father constantly repeated. He had a way of putting you in a corner because he used love and softness to turn you around. Everybody knows him for that. But anyway, guys, if we all here and we going to lie to each other, then you know what I mean. We took time out, and we took so much of our things. I'm going to ask anyone. Is there anyone who can put up his hand here and say, I had small talk with Brother Herman about anyone? This one's hair was this way and this one's shoe was that way. Is there anyone here who can put up the hand? So that speaks to the character of the man he was. My dad would teach you that energy, your field of energy that you create. If you're going to create negative thoughts and negative minds and negative so forth, that's pretty much going to follow you. But some of the biggest statements was he said was, when you have power without character, it becomes demonic. And wow, you see it everywhere, in every field almost. There's something else that he also taught me, which he liked, which was a phrase, was one time somebody was praying for someone, but the person didn't have shoes. So the person tried to compare their shoes to try and see whether this person can wear the same shoes. And that speaks to empathy. Whenever you talk to anybody, if you want to relate with anyone, once you can understand what they're actually trying to say, it creates a rapport and it creates a feeling. And, that's how you create bonds. And, you create... you might see later, Mzwakimpuli said he's running a bit late, he might come through, and that's how I've learned that from my dad, to try and create those type of relationships. And lastly, character is only shown in difficult times, not in good times. And one thing about what I really learned about my dad, and I hope my future wife's not sitting somewhere in here, was when he was intubated and he couldn't speak, okay? He was fighting the stretcher. Sorry, I'm calling it a stretcher. The bed, because they restrain them so they don't take out the pipe, which was stuck into the vocal cord. And I'm like, why is Daddy fighting? Daddy, stop fighting the machines. Just take it easy. What? I start mentioning names now. I mention my mom. Then he blinks to say yes. Then I say, Mom, what? Then he started thinking, call. Then I call my mom. Then he spoke to my mom. And, and this man really loved his wife, And, but I don't understand how he can love his wife more than his kids, though. that's I don't know. Brother Sidi must tell me the secrets here, or their friendships, or, one thing about my dad, he'd done things himself. Whenever he wanted to do something, he does it himself because he'll see it to the end. Even if you were working in his car, I promise you, he's going to put his chair here, talk with you, but he's going to sit there and watch. Even if he doesn't have the expertise. And those are certain things that I'm starting to learn, Very good ethics that one should perhaps take on, The good story my dad told me, he loved teamwork. So one day he called my brother and I and he said, there was a picture in just the late 80s where they draw two hands like this. People used to put it in their walls and so forth. Apparently the story behind that is that the family never had money. So what happened is the one son was very good in drawing. So the one worked, I think he worked in a mine. Was it a mine, John? I think Daddy said it was a mine. So they worked in a mine, and when they worked in the mine, he then took his brother to go and study artistry and so forth. And so he then one day drew this painting, those two hands, and now it's used everywhere as a sign of peace and so forth. And that then turned money for this brother. This one took this one to school because he had this gift and honed this gift, and this thing became patented and sold out everywhere. And then with this money they could feed this one. So it was a very beautiful story he told us about teamwork. Lastly, the biggest thing my father taught me was habits. If you ever want to get yourself anywhere, look at your habits now. And if you pattern yourself around your habits, that's what makes you or breaks you, because we are our own worst enemies. And yeah, that's how he came to boast himself and get himself into this kind of work ethic. I mean, people will tell about his work ethic. Brother Sydney is not just Brother Sydney. They work together as well. And they can tell about his work ethic, That's pretty much things. So those are certain things that he tried to teach me and that I'm also trying to share with all of you. Thank you all for coming.